All right, take one. Hopefully we can do this in one take.
Woo!
Booyah. Go.
Hi guys, it's Michelle.
And it's Lazy Rich. So I would say out of our group, we're probably the biggest nerds out of all of them.
We're all different nerds for different things.
I'm more a Star Wars geek.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
I feel like a well-rounded geek.
Right,
like
same
I
here.
do
I'm a lot of anime.
a lot of anime. I like Pokemon or like I just started watching Neon Genesis and I'm very excited about that. But I love Star Wars, I love Marvel, DC, like I can get real into the canon of those type of things.
Oh, and so canon and legendary of Star Wars as well. And you're definitely Star Wars because you have tattoos of Star Wars.
I do. I am a full-blown supporter of the Sith Empire. I have a Sith crest, and then I have a BB-9 on my leg as well.
Nice, yeah. And where do you usually get your tattoos at?
I go see Leia. She is at Classic Tattoo, and she is a big old nerd, and I love her very much. And if you're a big old nerd too, go see her.
Watch a video because we actually did one with that, and
we'll link it in the description box.
I'm still drawing something out because I definitely want her to do something for my first tattoo, so that's going to be pretty special. So we'll definitely record that. But other than that, though, I think there's a lot of Star Wars videos that are running around talking about, speculations and, just the whole thing of theory and what's going to happen with this next video. We're going to be a little bit different today, right?
I think I don't buy into a lot of hype when it comes to, like, we did the trailer video. However, I like to go into a movie without a lot of expectation.
Okay.
Especially with something that's so polarized like Star Wars tends to be.
Yeah.
Where there's so many subgenres of nerd or subcategories of nerd that are into it that everybody has, like, very passionate opinion. We're all allowed our passionate opinions. It's just I don't want to get influenced by that. I like going to the movies and I like making a judgment after I've seen the movie and enjoying it for what it is.
I totally agree with you. Just because, like, right now I feel like I didn't like the second episode 8. I didn't like it. Episode 7 I really liked. This one I'm hoping is going to be really good, but I'm not going to listen to all these people trash Star Wars. Disney has so much more that they're going to offer, and I think it'll be a different perspective because it's going to be their storyline. And I think when you take on anything that isn't your own story, people are going to trash talk it.
And even George Lucas, he never knew it was going to be what it was.
Definitely.
Star Wars blew up and it got bigger than what it was originally intended for. And it's given me so much joy in my life. I'm going to enjoy whatever I can get out of it.
Definitely. Yeah. And this particular one, since it's actually going to be Star Wars 9, the end story of Skywalker. So no one really knows what that part of it's going to be. So instead of us talking about what we think is going to happen, and we're actually going to watch this trailer and then talk about what we want to see happen with this particular movie.
Like, I've held off on watching this for this video.
I've probably seen this trailer I'm not lying, probably about 20 times already.
Not even once. I've been holding off and not reading anything, like anybody's comments about it. I've just been trying to be very good.
So hopefully if you guys are one of the people that haven't seen this too, you can enjoy this the first time with Michelle. Or if you're like me who've already watched this like 20 or more times, it's still something to enjoy. So let's do this.
Okay.
We've passed on all we know. A 1,000 generations live in you now. But this is your fight. see him.
December.
Shut up. Oh.
Before we break down this trailer, though, because this is actually going to be a little short little podcast, before we get into the nitty gritty and talking about that, we will take a little break and talk about our little product here.
Yes.
A lot of products.
A lot of products. So a friend of ours, her brother makes these, they're called Chili Buzzed, and they have new packaging now. This is one of their older packaging, and they are, for somebody like me who grew up around like Mexican sweets, tahine and sour candies and spicy things, like this is so good for me because it is everything that I want in a snack. It's a gummy.
Definitely.
It is sour, it's sweet, it's salty, spicy.
It's definitely cool. Like when you go into a movie theater, are you a popcorn person or like a sour sweet person? I'm both.
I'll eat anything. I'll sneak a whole hamburger into the movies.
This is something that I would totally bring to a theater. So the way that this works is he'll actually take like random stuff that we usually eat and then put like the spices and
It's got
all that
like
stuff.
chamoy and lime and the tahine. And you're just gonna hear me eat this entire time.
Right. The first time I tried this, I was addicted. I literally ate the whole thing in one sitting.
Well, I've gone through 4 packs already.
How would someone get this? Because it's not something that you get at the store. So
You can follow them on Facebook at Chili Buzzed, and then there's a link to their website to order.
all right, we are back. But before we get into this, because there's a lot that I want to talk about, we got our little cooler here, as you can see.
As if we weren't already nerds.
Right? Isn't this like the little Han Solo when he gets carbonated?
Carbonated.
And while I break this open, I am sporting our little T-shirt from Classic Tattoos.
Yeah, Leia also did that.
Yeah, this is Leia Lagat. She actually designed this, and we'll tattoo this on your back if you really wanted it to.
If you really want it, I'm sure she'd work something out.
Her style is amazing. Cheers. All right, I got a lot to talk about.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so one, I like the trailer. You know, it like you said, it did start off a little bit slow, but I think that was tying in because if you watch any of the Disney trailers, they never put any old movies in there. This is kind of the first time they added the prequels to any of their trailers.
They never had to because it originally, you know, the original trailers served their purpose. The new ones were a whole new thing, and now these, it's about the nostalgia. It's a nostalgia factor for it.
But I think, like you said, it's tying in everything, kind of like the closure of all 9 movies.
Yeah, you're saying goodbye to all these characters that you've, as far as a movie is concerned, because there's other stuff in the works we'll have a whole other video about.
Yeah.
But as far as the movie is concerned, yeah, you're gonna say goodbye to characters that you've, you know, loved for so long. But
Right.
Things need to come to an end.
So are you one of those groups where it needs to be in the end and you're ready for something new?
I am.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have Luke Skywalker forever.
Right.
You know?
I read and I collect and I have a lot of Star Wars stuff. So if you look back here, there's a couple books here. I've read at least 50 Star Wars books, and not all 50 have to do with Skywalker. And the story within Star Wars is so big and so expanded. Like, there's just so many things that we're missing out on canon, legendary stuff, you know? But just regarding this movie, because again, me and you can talk Star Wars forever,
And
right?
we will. And we will, because watch out for the next video. We're probably going to review The Mandalorian.
Right. No, we are going to review Mandalorian.
Oh, so
But
excited.
instead of talking theory or what could happen, what do you want to happen in Star Wars?
I just want to know where Ray came from.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what happens with those little kids and the broom and the Force.
Right. No, yeah.
I
yeah.
have questions that I want answered, and I know full well that they're not going to get answered fully, but a little bit's better than nothing. I just want to go to the movies and enjoy it. I don't want to hold a lot of expectation to it, saying I want this to happen. I just want to go and enjoy myself at the movie theaters
Right.
and get a bunch of popcorn and share like a good experience with my friends, and then afterwards, then I'll dive into the who, what, when, where, why, how, why,
Right.
why.
Who do you think Rey's parents are?
Oh, I want her to be a Kenobi.
You want her to be a Kenobi?
I do.
The theories right now are this, and I know we weren't going to talk about theories, but
Okay, if you
I
can't help
have
it.
to, I just,
Can't
yeah, I
help
can't
it.
help
All right,
it.
go ahead.
I'll throw it in, and then I'll tie in what I want out of it.
Okay.
Okay. So one of the big things is, since they are saying that Palpatine is going to come back in this, that he is bloodline, she is bloodline to Palpatine, the Emperor.
Oh, so she's
A
Sith.
second, yeah. So she is Sith. They were
Which would
even
explain,
saying,
that would explain the red lightsaber too.
right. Another thing is, like, remember that last movie where she went into that little cave or the little tunnel?
Yeah.
And she saw like hundreds of her. So they're thinking she's possibly a clone, where she was cloned by like all the famous Jedis, from Luke's hand to Palpatine to, Anakin, whatnot. So they think she can be like the bred Jedi Sith clone, just based off of she has no parents. And that one thing when she went in there and she just saw millions of her, right? And like every one of her image wasn't like a mirror where she moved and it moved at the same time. They all had different gestures and they all moved accordingly to how they were. So they're thinking maybe a clone.
Maybe.
You know what I want?
What?
So since Disney has brought about so many things from Solo to like Rogue One and all that. So when you first watched episode 7 and Leia and Han weren't together, they were like separated, and there was like this distance between them, like there was like no love relationship.
Yeah.
So what I think is Han Solo, had an affair with Kira. Remember from Solo?
Oh shit.
And Kira was working with Darth Maul. So maybe Darth Maul took her to be his apprentice. So maybe there is that Sith or Force power within that. So why wouldn't why wouldn't Disney go that route?
Kira, you and I will be working much more closely from now on.
Disney went the whole girl power thing. They're going beyond just like comic storyline. So they're focusing on, okay, we need to bring girl power in this.
Yeah.
Okay. Second, beyond that, they're totally bringing the race factor. Like if you watch Star Wars before, there wasn't diversity like how it is now, right? Versus like, there's just a lot of diversity. And then if you watch Solo again, Lando Calrissian was pansexual. So they're going beyond like everything that you can think of. They're just trying to think like, let's throw this, because this is, Generation X, this is millennials, and let's just add that to our storyline, right? Why wouldn't they have Han Solo cheat on Leia and have another kid from a different person?
I can deal with it.
I can deal with it if it was Kira, because that was
true.
Han Solo's first
Yeah.
love,
Oh, yeah,
technically.
yeah, technically. Oh, dang. We'll just have to watch and see.
I know. I think that's actually going to be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But my theory is probably completely off of what it's going to be, but that's something that I would like to see.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's the beauty about fan theories, is that we can throw anything to the wall and see what sticks.
Exactly. My second thing is, remember watching the trailer where they had the old Rebel ships come in, and then all of a sudden they had the hundreds of Imperial ships. So this is what I want to watch from that. So there are a couple storylines. Did you watch the Rebels cartoon?
No, I didn't. I watched Clone Wars, but I never watched Rebels.
You have to watch Rebels. So Rebels broke off with a different tangent. So it was during Vader time. There were a couple of Jedi still kind of in the mix, but they're like hidden Jedis, right? So they were just kind of surviving, kind of starting up the rebellion. So one particular character in Rebels was Thrawn. So if you ever watch or read any books, Thrawn is this huge understudy, the Emperor. So he has no force power, but he has the intelligence of war. He's great in putting things together to win and be victorious, right? So there was the last battle, and I don't want to spoil this for anyone, and I'm sorry if I do, but if you guys definitely have to watch Rebels. But Thrawn and Ezra, who was one of the Jedis, the main character of Rebels, they disappear with all Thrawn's and Emperor's ships. They go into like a warp and they disappear.
They're gonna tie it in that far in, like that deep into it.
I would want, because it's a Disney product.
I would want for them to. I don't know if that's gonna be a far stretch for it though.
But this is what I want.
It's not. I mean, 100%. This is true.
Okay.
This is what Rich wants.
Exactly.
This is what we expect.
I think the whole podcast has changed to what Rich wants in Star Wars.
What does Rich want? Ultimately, my dear Disney,
but I
hate your stinking guts.
But I think if it went this route, okay, so I'm gonna go deeper. I'm gonna go deep. Okay, so
real deep.
So Thrawn and the Emperor's fleets disappear, right? He lost all of it. So if you guys know, and this is what I love about the books and the novel, and what we're missing from having Disney change legendary to canon, right? So what happened is, the reason why the Emperor wanted to become the Emperor and kind of take over everything had nothing to do with about the galaxy he was in. It was all the expanded universe that they've never touched. He always felt that there was this one other being that was going to take over everything. I believe they're called the Yuzhong Vong. And this was what he was worried about the most. Thrawn was worried about it, and the Emperor was worried about it. So you know what would be so awesome to kind of tie all that in? Like, let's say we see the Imperial ships, right? What happened if the Imperial ships, okay, everything's all settled and all that, and all of a sudden the Yuzhong Vong came out, and it was just the Imperial ships facing that, right? And then all of a sudden the Imperial ships came to help the rebels. You know what I mean? That would be a fucking badass end, and that can bring about a whole new storyline to next Star Wars.
Oh my god. This is Rich's wish list. There's so much to pull from when it comes to Star Wars that we haven't even scratched the surface of it.
I don't want it to end.
An ending is just something else's beginning, you know? Not to sound like a fucking record or an inspirational quote board.
I do want the Skywalker trilogy to end.
Sure.
But I don't want Star Wars.
Oh, they're not going to give up that cash cow. Like, we're going to see a lot more from Star Wars. It's just not going to be what we know. We know what Mandalorians are. We don't. We know what Boba Fett is. And he was a Mandalorian, and we're going to delve into that now.
Yeah.
Not now, but we are going to stop now before we extend this video any further, and we will come back to the Mandalorian and our
right. So we won't talk about Mandalorian. We'll stop with that. What I want out of this, though, because when Disney cut off and just made certain things canon and certain things legendary, I was so disappointed. I don't know. I'm really excited for this movie. So we have like 100 days left, a little bit less than 100. We'll do a countdown.
Once you countdown, we'll start talking about other ventures leading up to Mandalorian. We're gonna try and I don't know. I kind of want to go to Star Wars Land.
Disney World or LA?
You know, I really want to go to Disney World, and I want to go to Universal Orlando because I hear that their parks are better. But I think for the foreseeable future, LA might be. I think it's gonna be LA.
Just a drive away. When you go to Universal for Harry Potter, you can cosplay and wear
all my Hufflepuff gear. I have so much.
Star Wars Galaxy Edge, you can't. You're not allowed to wear any cosplay. You can wear like franchise stuff that they sell, but you can't go out like full Jedi or full.
Like I can't dress like a Sith.
Nope. You probably could go because it's not anything that they sell. So
That
you probably
is
can
true.
go in kind of
just black,
Right.
black leather, black cape, black everything. So it's no different from the way I dress normally.
right.
All right, guys, this has been fun, and we'll see you on the next one.
Right. Subscribe to our channel.
And
We
look out
got
for more content.
much more content.
Much more.
All right.
All right, see ya.
Later.
Pew.